1.1 part 2. So now we're going to look at lines that regulate and control. And when you're thinking about this, usually you're thinking about blueprints and things that are have a sharp edge and accuracy, that they're going to express control and planning. So in this case, we're looking at Mel Bochner, Vertigo. Beautiful piece. I wish that you could see this in person at some point, um, but it's just stunning. I've seen his work, but there's a lot of what it kind of almost looks like erased lines in the rear of this, but this is all very intentional. And then if you look at these black lines, these are all made with a ruler, and they match up, or they line up rather, where at specific points. So these orange lines line up with the black lines, and he's got this all figured out. So you get more of a controlled sense, or an intensity, or a sense of like frantic behavior a little bit, I think, too. It makes me feel a little bit frantic. But anyway, it's expressive line. So he's got regular ruled line and repetition and overlapping. So it feels like disarray, like it's erasure, or just like kind of frantic. Look at Barbara Hepworth, very similar in terms of line quality, in that she's got really hard lines here, and she's drawing them with a ruler. She has some rounded lines, but these are drawings for sculpture, so they're somewhat architectural planning for a sculpture to be carved. But she says she draws from her body. So there's different views of this for a sculpture. They're crisp and clear. She's translating feelings and sensations into drawings. Also, we're going to get into a more expressive line that's irregular and kind of wild and unrestrained. And all these sort of concepts, or all these ways of using line, are intentional in that the artist is trying to evoke or express an emotion, and then they want you to sort of pick up on that emotion. That's a lot in a nutshell. That's basically what modernism is all about. Okay, so Automatic Drawing, 1925, from Andre Masson, and this is sort of like as you would do some doodling, but it's a little more intentional than that, and it probably has a bit more focus than a regular doodle, but it's very loose. And automatic drawing means that you're not thinking about it. You're not looking at an object trying to replicate it, and you're not thinking about what you're going to draw. You just start drawing. So in that way, it is somewhat like a doodle. So depths of subconscious, and he wants it to look spontaneous and free. Dubuffet, similar. He really explored the artwork. He's a trained artist, but he explored artwork that was some of the mental institutions, people making art there, and outsider art, but that's what he's hoping to look like. So he wants it to look uninhibited, irregular, and loose, and it's somewhat orderly, even though it seems chaotic. Most works do use both regular lines and irregular lines. Just, you're going to find these things if you really look more closely, and after this course, you really will. George Bellows, really interesting guy, but this is a nice, quick, sort of a sketch here, Woodstock, New York, and you can see that this fellow knows how to render, meaning draw accurately what he sees, and he does in his paintings, but this is sort of a quick, fun sketch. I feel like this is almost Van Gogh-like, this is many years after, but it kind of has that sensibility with these expressive, scribbly lines. So here we have irregular lines here. My mouse is playing tricks on me. So these are irregular, and this is just kind of a scribble here, but he wants you to get the sense of like a rutted dirt road, perhaps, and then some bushes, and so there's some irregular things there. But then when we look at this building, it's got these very regular ordered lines, geometric. So geometric lines are these angular pieces here. Houses, usually things that are built by man, and then organic lines. Think of things that are growing. Okay, but Bellows did a quick sketch, expressive line, irregular line, and regular line. There you go. Implied line, I'm going to stop here actually.